isn't education a benefit? Because if someone tries to enslave you to build a pyramid to worship the sun, you, who know geography, can say to them, question, why don't we just go visit the Inuits with all the sun? If you plan on going up to the Inuits, bring your own grass with you. We have grass, yet we make astroturf. The Inuits have ice, so do they make like astro ice? No. Why? Because the Inuits have a lick of sense. Know why Inuits don't gossip? Because they don't hear anything through the grapevine. My family and friends tried to force me to move up to where the Inuits live. However, I dug my fingernails into the soil and looked to the heavens and cried out, I like grass. NASA tried to recruit me to go on a mission to Mars. After reviewing some pictures, I don't believe I would want to go. Why? Because Mars doesn't have any grass. NASA persisted, so I said, send the Inuits. They're the ones used to not having any grass. Inuits are not blooming idiots, for they do not use vegetation analogies, though a few of them may be idiots. Inuit lovers never go for a roll in the hay. They roll in the snow, which must be an exhilarating experience in itself. I asked an Inuit, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And he said, I don't know, since there isn't any wood here for woodchucks. And I took his answer to heart and turned and started to walk away. And he called after me, well, dang it, come back here. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? What do Inuits call their jails? Coolers. Aztec priests would rip the hearts out of their human sacrificial victims and hold the still beating hearts up into the air with human blood running down their arms and invoke the sun god to return to them from its sojourn to the equinoxes. And the Inuits, at that very moment in time, were sitting on a snowdrift, looking at either a protracted winter or summer and saying to themselves, isn't the world a crazy place? The devil is Inuit. Oh yes ma'am, all the way to your eyebrows he's Inuit. An Inuit teenager wanted to move to Mexico, and her parents told her, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. And the Inuit teenager replied, oh my God, the Mexicans got grass? And if you wonder why most people do not bring the Inuits up in their conversations, it's because, like, they're already up. The opposite factions of the bipolar religion are worlds apart. Evangelizing in the bipolar religion is hard, for people get offended when you approach their door and ask them if they would like to move from pole to pole. In the bipolar religion, we treat people of all colors equally. We just make them move around a lot, that's all. Did you hear about the member of the light side of the bipolar religion who was dyslexic? She ran from pole to pole all right, except she did it in the dark. A friend of mine told me, I really don't know what you're talking about. And I replied, well, I can't help it if you're not bipolar. For you girls, if anyone gives you any flack from running from pole to pole, just tell them the Aurora Borealis kid gave you permission. And let it be known, I have been coloring since kindergarten. And a girl I know said, me too. I asked the girl if she wanted to play Long Arctic Darkness by locking herself in a closet with me with the lights off for 3 months. And she said, yeah, the lights would probably have to be off in order for me to spend that much time with you. And for you by the equator, when you say your prayers, always be thankful that you have nuts. Oh, you didn't know some people don't have nuts, huh? Is that an epiphany for you? And for those of you who don't want to educate yourself, you may move from pole to pole and spend your entire lives in the dark. Oh, it's that color here all the time. The president said to a platoon of Marines, spend most of your lives in the daylight. And they replied in unison, yes, sir, we shall move from pole to pole. And in understanding the German phrase, Welten Schoen, my homie asked, how much farther do I have to go? And I replied, Don't worry about it, dog. Developing artificial intelligence. I would like to stress the need to create the entity bipolar, although it might be disconcerting to see a robot walking around saying to itself, what, 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 what? All my homies are by the equator because they stay away from poles. After 37 years of living on Earth, I have come to this one conclusion. I am in the Northern Hemisphere. You too can spend the majority of your life in the sun. All you have to do is move from pole to pole. At the United States Constitutional Convention, George Washington's chair had a radiant sun carved into it. Benjamin Franklin remarked, I pray it is a rising sun and not a setting sun. And Alexander Hamilton added, hey Ben, if we move from pole to pole during the light solstices, we can enjoy a rising sun for near all our lives. And old Ben Franklin said to Alexander Hamilton, would you please? We're trying to be serious. It's good to be provincial and equatorial. Clutch what you can. God told me, there will be no night for you. Okay. I was sitting in the forest once, and I looked to the left, and there was foliage. And I looked to the right, and there was foliage. And with extreme consternation, I said to myself, good Lord, I'm surrounded. It's mighty light here in the Arctic summer night. No, it's just a different shade of black. How's that for political correctness? And concerning latitude, always ask yourself and your neighbors, how high would you like to be? When did Shaka Zulu ever have a good long day? Please, he probably even ate vegetables and used reptile analogies. An angel come down to me in the middle of the Arctic summer night and said, I have come to you in brilliance. And I said, so I see. How pleasant. And for you players, please, you would never have thought of locking yourself in a closet for 3 months with the lights off in order to simulate the long Arctic darkness. And looking at this globe and seeing these holes here should lead us to conclude that where holes are, poles must be close by. Brer Rabbit was getting lippy with Brer Arctic Fox and Brer Polar Bear, so they snagged him. Well, Brer Rabbit, being used to using his old equatorial tricks, smugly said, don't throw me in the briar patch. Please don't throw me in the briar patch. And Brer Arctic Fox and Brer Polar Bear smiled at each other and said, you ain't from around here, are you, boy? And always remember, some types of people should be kept away from poles. Switch the salt and pepper every 6 months. Switch the salt and pepper every 6 months. Oh, won't you? Switch the salt and pepper every 6 months. A native friend of mine said, hi. And I replied, well, after all, we have so much grass. Bye now, my provincial and equatorial comrades.